Hello there. Welcome to AlltimeGaming. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jamie, and this is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 videos this week. And that's the last of the voices before anyone accuses us of being racist.
My lord, is that legal?
Well, Chris, since you mention it, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order looks so good that it might actually be illegal.
Wow.
As we know, there's been a long-standing law that you can't make good Star Wars games. And it looks like they're about ready to break it, meaning there are plenty of reasons to be excited. Some of you might have already written this one off, but here are 6 reasons Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is not the game you think it is.
Yippee!
Oh, as we said, we're done with the voices.
We're never done with the voices, baby. Following the admittedly deserved backlash to Star Wars Battlefront 2 and its aggressive monetization policies that started a never-ending nightmare of legal troubles for EA, Jedi Fallen Order will be focusing completely on single-player content.
Do you mean to say no microtransactions, Chris? I think they've confirmed that.
Yeah, no microtransactions in sight. That's right, no multiplayer, no post-launch DLC planned, and no zero-zip monetization. As far as we could see, the only form of DLC for the game is a cosmetic-only pre-order bonus. You know what? You're giving us a lot, so we'll give you that tiny little leeway.
Just because we like Respawn.
Somehow, EA managed to resist their overwhelming urges to bleed players dry for every penny they're worth, and have actually given us a pretty solid Star Wars adventure to play through. Now, yes, okay, we would have had this experience years ago if they hadn't tossed the promising-sounding Star Wars 1313 into the nearest Sarlacc pit to be slowly digested over 1,000 years. But hey, better late than never, right?
That's what my mum told me about my penis growing.
When's it gonna happen for you, buddy?
Apparently it happened to Michael Caine when he was older, so...
60s?
Yeah.
Wow.
When you get so old that your foreskin starts to droop.
I love that.
Mr. Wayne.
Mr. Wayne.
Taking place during what some would argue is the Star Wars universe's most interesting window, between episodes 3 and 4, EA have promised that Jedi Fallen Order will have a complex story deeply woven into the lore of the franchise. We get to play as Cal Kestis, one of the last surviving Jedi after Emperor Palpatine initiated Order 66.
No, hold on, sorry, say it properly.
Execute Order 66.
Unlimited power!
Anyway, Order 66 wiped out almost all of the Jedi in the galaxy. As a young Padawan now alone in the universe, Cal needs to escape the long arm of the Empire, and specifically needs to evade the clutches of the Empire's second sister, an Inquisitor trained by Darth Vader to hunt down the remaining Jedi. Along his journey, Cal will also visit recognizable worlds, like the Wookiee planet Kashyyyk, whilst also meeting up with characters we've seen in the movies. We know that Saw Gerrera, last seen in both Rogue One and the animated series Rebels, will return and be played by Forrest Whitaker once more. It's worth noting that the Inquisitors were also first seen in the same animated series, so they're going pretty hard on the expanded universe connections. Will we see any more returning faces? Let us know who you think might make a cameo in the comments down below. My vote?
Yeah?
The top half of Darth Maul.
My vote? The bottom half of Darth Maul. Just 2 legs running around. So, we know Jedi Fallen Order is putting single player first and actually gives a damn about its story. But what about the gameplay? Well, if you like Dark Souls, guess what? You're in luck, baby. The developers themselves have claimed Dark Souls helped to inspire a lot of their development time. Players are encouraged to dive into combat instead of trying to sneak past enemies, and once you're in combat, encounters become duel-like dances of death, similar to Bloodborne and my personal favorite, Sekiro. Now look, okay, don't get too excited because you're not going to be able to slice up human enemies due to the developers wanting a teen-friendly rating, and, the fact that you are playing as a light side Jedi, blah blah blah. But non-human characters such as droids and monsters can be fully dismembered for maximum lightsaber satisfaction.
It's giving me flashbacks to Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, where I just spend a minute chopping up enemies into 1,000 tiny pieces.
Why aren't there more games with dismemberment? I want dismemberment in all my games. The Sims.
Wow.
Minecraft. Jedi Fallen Order also uses the Force to mix up the blade ballet melee combat. This magical Jedi power should give you the upper hand in combat with the Force push, pull, and slow abilities shown off so far. But hey, there are bound to be shit ton more.
Maybe a little choke?
Choke me out every day. What? One last Soul-styled inspiration has been confirmed by recent previews too. Cal can meditate at certain points in the world, and these basically act like the bonfires in the Soul series. You use bonfires to refill your healing supplies, warp to other locations, and just generally level up. But with all this From Software inspiration, thankfully the game won't be as punishing as any of those titles, and you won't lose any experience or inventory upon your death.
So you mean I won't have to sprint back and find my old dead body and pick up some weird shit off it?
Thank God for that.
Jedi Fallen Order has another key inspiration though, Metroidvanias.
Oh, yes.
So when you get a Metroid game and a Castlevania game, I prefer Castleoid, but
Castleoid.
yeah. As Cal progresses through his journey and awakens new powers, he'll be able to reach a huge number of previously inaccessible areas. We're assuming most of these will be off the beaten path and provide optional goodies, with the main block pathways that continue the story not being particularly hidden away, which was kind of like how God of War worked, if you remember.
Yeah, I do remember. Fondly.
But it's nice to know that there'll be plenty of reasons to backtrack for dedicated players who want to see everything and make Cal as powerful as he can be on his quest. This could even open up a whole new level of challenge for players who like a bit of punishment, as you could choose to completely bypass optional upgrades to make the game as hard for yourself as possible. Why you'd want to do that though is beyond me. Jedi Fallen Order may only have a single player campaign, but it's elements like these that will keep us coming back for repeated playthroughs. Even if that's not your thing though, it'll be cool to see the different ways maps open up thanks to new shortcuts you might be able to open.
EA aren't falling back on DICE or the Frostbite engine to make Jedi Fallen Order. It's insane, I know, but it's true. Instead, they've done something incredibly smart. They've gotten Respawn Entertainment to make it, and they've actually let them use Unreal Engine 4.
Hell yeah.
This was probably a no-brainer because of several factors. Battlefront 2's generally poor reception didn't help DICE, alongside the fact that they're far better at making multiplayer experiences than single-player ones. Respawn Entertainment, on the other hand, have such a high pedigree with their content that it would have been silly not to pick them, especially after their work on the excellent Titanfall series and Apex Legends. There's also that open secret that basically devs don't like working with EA's Frostbite engine, so jumping to Unreal Engine 4, well, that makes total sense. And hey, if you want to learn more about Frostbite, why it sucks, and how it pretty much ruined Mass Effect developers BioWare, you could watch our Game Changers on that very subject.
Whether you prioritize power or performance, Jedi Fallen Order has you covered. Players with access to either a PlayStation 4 Pro or an Xbox One X will be able to switch between performance and quality modes.
Ooh, handy. I mean, unless you're on PC and then you just fucking crank it up.
True. The game will look marginally worse in performance mode, but if you absolutely have to have that silky smooth 60 frames per second experience, then this is the mode for you. If you need frame perfect accuracy and there's one-on-one fights, tone down the visuals. It's as simple as that.
I gotta commend them for giving people the option.
But if the dark side allure of unlimited power is more your thing, switch over to the quality mode. This will give your visuals a bump to make the experience look as nice visually as current gen tech can make it. This does come at the cost of meaning the game is capped at 30 frames per second, but for some, it'll be a worthy sacrifice. Alternatively though, as Chris mentioned, just get the game on PC and have both the best graphics and the smoothest frame rates, you console scrubs. Get your wallet out, you cheapskate.